Combat footage has been released showing Australian fighters engaging in a fierce battle against Russian troops in Russia's border Kursk region. The video posted on Telegram app has been captured by the helmet camera of a Western soldier and shows the combat between Russian troops and Australian mercenaries fighting within the Ukrainian army. The exact location of the battle as well as the date when it took place has not been reported. The fighters are seen being repeatedly attacked in the wooded area in a village. According to unconfirmed reports, one of the Australian soldiers was killed during the battle. The fighters belong to Ukraine's International Legion that was set up by the Ukrainian government shortly after Russia's full-fledged invasion in 2022. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba stated in March 2022 that over 20,000 volunteers from 52 countries have volunteered to fight for Ukraine. However, the precise number of these fighters is not known.
Russian drones follow them wherever they go.
Shoot!
Despite running a very short distance, they are out of breath and are already resting.
Okay? Sierra.
Нема нічого,
Go, ребят. Тихо.
They don't seem to have much idea what to do.
Yeah, this way, where? We have exfil coming. It's open field, huh? It's open field. If you take FPV. Yeah. Shoot! Incoming! Okay, we need to move. Moving! All right.
Ukraine will be able to destroy the Crimean Bridge when a corresponding political decision is made. Aviation expert Konstantin Krivolap stated this on the air of Fabrika Novosti. The Crimean Bridge can be destroyed at the moment when a political decision is made. Due to the fact that a political decision was not made and there were restrictions from the Americans, there was a hint to the Russians that we can do this because they stopped transporting in very large quantities everything related to military equipment across the Crimean Bridge, he said. According to Krivolap, the Russians understand that the bridge can be destroyed at any time when this decision is made. We already have enough resources, and especially now, when such a decision is made, it will be destroyed. But there is no point in destroying it right now, when the Russians have already stopped transporting ammunition across this bridge. If our military goals are achieved, that is one question. On the other hand, there are these tense relations with the Americans, who are now specifically engaged in saving Russia, Krivolap explained. Recently, the New York Times conducted a major investigation into the military cooperation between the US and Ukraine after the full-scale Russian invasion. In particular, the publication found out that in the summer of 2024, Ukraine secretly carried out a third attack on the Crimean Bridge, but it was unsuccessful. Ukraine damaged the Crimean Bridge with long-range ATACMS missiles, the investigation claims. The journalists added that the operation was carried out as part of the Lunar Hail campaign, which was jointly developed by the Ukrainian and American sides. Russian occupation of the Crimean Peninsula in 2014 was followed by the construction of the infrastructure facilities. Many of them are of military importance, and the Crimean Bridge is no exception. It has significantly improved the logistics capabilities of the aggressor state. In addition, Russian dictator Vladimir Putin attended its opening, giving the new construction a particular sacred significance. In addition to the obvious goal of integrating temporarily occupied Crimea with the territory of the Russian Federation, the aggressor state wanted to reduce the economic and financial losses of maintaining the peninsula in the future. Of course, the increase in political dividends from the occupation has played a role, as Crimea has been used as a springboard for Russia. It has been militarized since 2014 and used to influence the region. The bridge increased restrictions on free shipping in the Kerch Strait and the Sea of Azov, and improved Russian military and logistical capabilities. The Crimean Bridge is systematically used for the transfer of military equipment and personnel of the Russian armed forces to continue attacks on Ukraine. On March the 28th, the General Staff of Ukraine reported the destruction of 122 enemy artillery systems in one day. To date, this is a record for 3 years of war. Experts say that by the end of March, 1,644 units of artillery of the Russian armed forces were destroyed, which is 3 times more than in 2022. Forbes reports. Experts say the General Staff's data is difficult to confirm, but satellite images suggest the Kremlin is actively emptying its stockpiles of Soviet weapons. Moreover, Moscow asked the DPRK for help in supplying its 170mm caliber artillery. It is also worth paying attention to the fact that the Russian Federation has switched from artillery to glide bombs, which it actively uses on the front line. Until 2022, artillery was detected on the battlefield using counter-battery radars. A striking example of this is the Russian Zupark system, which is capable of tracking howitzers at a distance of over 22 kilometers. However, there are 2 downsides. Each such radars are very expensive, and there are few of them. Since 2022, the main enemy of artillery has become not shells, but drones. Both sides in the conflict rely less on radar and more on drones to detect artillery. Both sides have also turned to techniques from World War I, acoustic location. Microphones are placed at a great distance, which allow the location of artillery to be tracked with an accuracy of up to 10 meters. This is a very cheap method and is invisible to the enemy's eyes. Back in February, Kiev presented a new acoustic system for reconnaissance, VIDAR, which includes 5 microphones and a computer. The principle of operation is as follows. As soon as the enemy fires an artillery shot, the radar tracks it. After that, both drones and artillery attack the target. As a result, the enemy artillery is destroyed before it can leave the battlefield. Artillery now plays a much decreased role. The Russians now rely more on glide bombs for tactical firepower at the front line, while there may be several reasons for the decline in artillery. Loss of the scout drones to find targets and adjust fire, a reduction in the number of shells available. The destruction of guns on the front line looks like a significant factor. The exact reasons for the decline of artillery are not clear, but on both sides it has become less of a factor and more strikes are carried out by drones. Whether there is any road back for artillery remains to be seen, but more and better artillery detectors, combined with more and better means to destroy guns, will be deployed in the coming months and years. That would put artillery on course for a sharp decline, with no obvious prospect of recovery.